Well, greetings subscribers, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to the vlog, and today we're going to be working on the Corvette. Yeah, I'm starting to get the flickering front headlight, so went online and bought two brand new bulbs. You know, it's best to replace both. It's 2015, it's at 80 something thousand miles, so yeah, looking online, they're about due. So yeah, I got some traveling and stuff to do at night, so I don't want that thing on and off and on and off. Brings me to the other point, though. I do have some additional things to do on the car, so I figured, yeah, with the you know, weather permitting, we'll get these things swapped out. And just FYI too, I went online, I think I got these genuine GM ones for like $129, I think, on Amazon. So some people bought the cheaper bulbs, or they've gotten different you know, Calvin colors or whatever, but they've also then had problems. So a couple things I need to do though. As you may have recalled from a previous one or two videos, yeah, I was on the highway and this front splitter hit something. I think it was some piece of tire or something, so it got pretty jacked up. Now, track events, stuff like that, I haven't really been too concerned, but now it is bent down so far. It's pretty much scraping on everything, and it also pulled this little tab away from the front grille. So I want to get in there and get that basically tightened back up. So although I wanted to try to replace these with the little through the fender hack, yeah, man, and I still kind of want to, but I'll probably end up taking the front of the bumper off and going that route anyway. So I've got the new splitter here packed up. Where is it? Oh yeah, probably just broke the bulb. Yeah, I've got the new splitter here, and this is the, you know, the cheapy one, same as before. I don't need a carbon fiber or something like that, you know, 1,500 bucks or whatever. That's just going to get damaged. So I got this one. We'll get that swapped out and get that front tightened up, get the bulbs put in, and then also need to do an oil change, you know, upcoming trip. So we're gonna get to that. And I think the first time I did this, I'm trying to remember if I had a YouTube channel or not, or maybe I just wasn't posting videos, because I was one of the first to have the car and pull the front bumper off, take the little braces thing off, and get the Z06 grill put in. And I remember doing some photos, so maybe I'll throw those up, because people were like, oh my god, you just got the car and you already pulled the whole front end off. And yeah, so that was a learning experience. There really wasn't any information online on how to do it. Now it seems pretty good, and probably, you know, second time around should come off pretty fast. Although, like I said, a little concerned about the weather. I don't want to get going on this and then have it rain. So anyway, as always, stay tuned. Man, the weather's not sounding so good, but quick update. This is the first time I've actually used my little race ramp blocks, and I must say, wow, those really pull the car way off the ground. I should have no problem getting under there and doing the oil. And yeah, again, just real quick, this is where I hit it once before. This one was pretty bad. I actually put a lot of scratch on there, and then this was the one time. Yeah, I mean, that one's almost all the way through, and then of course you can see the marks up here on the top. Man, this thing just, it bent it all the way down, popped this thing out. So I'm not gonna go over it again, but yeah, it's bad. So yeah, I think it's even pulling it down. Yeah, I mean, because look at the gap. I'm scraping this like on almost everything, doesn't matter where I go. So yeah, there you go. I was just watching somebody else's video about these little inserts. Mine already had them. I thought that actually covered up the tow hook, but it doesn't, because obviously I've had the tow hook on there. Well, anyway, I'm rambling, so depending on the weather, yeah, I might just do the oil change real quick, because that's going to be what's most important. So, all right. Well, it's like starting to sprinkle, and yeah, I might just do the oil change real quick. Underneath of the car looks to be in pretty good shape. I got some little splatter here because last time the car was in, yeah, the dealership did not like tuck this up where I had it, so it's kind of been, well, at least it looks like it's been dripping a little bit and flinging back on stuff. You can kind of see it here. So we'll get that emptied, and I'm actually surprised. Looks like I got about, I can't really tell, maybe this much oil and maybe, you know, just some liquid vapor, you know, water. That's the drain tube from the Mighty Mouse catch can. So yeah, I'm not in boost that much, so I'm not sure how much blow by is going through. And then also yeah, the dealership was the last one that did the filter, so they freaking cranked it on here. I'm having to use this thing. Jesus Christ, the hell. Yeah, they freaking torqued that on. Morons. I was wondering, like, why do I have a black GM filter? So I usually run these Fram synthetic, but anyway, yeah, we'll see if the weather calms down. I'll film the rest of this. Otherwise, maybe I'll just do it a two-parter. The oil is more important right now for traveling than the headlight is, so kind of take it from there. Anyway, yeah, so stay tuned, and this will either be the end of the video or not. So see you later. All right, so the weather kind of circled around and kind of gave me a break. So yeah, I decided, man, I already got the front of the car lifted, might as well go ahead and do this. So yeah, quickly, as other people have said, 3 bolts I think in the back, this size, takes that little air diffuser out from this area, give you exposure. Took out the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, something like 14 bolts to get the splitter. This is the old splitter. Yeah, man, this thing is beat to crap. So yeah, you could see, like, man, look at how much was scraping here. Like I said, it got to the point where, like, I was scraping on everything, and I didn't really think I'd be able to sand this down, respray it, carbon flash, you know, and make it worth anything. So, and yeah, I already fixed this because I saw where this center little bolt tab was pushed. So I'm gonna get under there and make sure that that's nice and tight when it's done. Yeah, and at some point, with the damage that I had over here, I will probably pull this bumper and respray it at some point. But for now, it's fine. I mean, you're not going to get away from that. And I also had some extra little screws here around the edge for the splitter. And then I was just now working on, yeah, I already filled everything. And I'm going, yeah, the 0W40 this time. We'll see how that goes. Oh, so anyway, yeah, I was just working on the lights. This little thing was pretty, like, gunked up and just did not want to come loose. So it's very easy just to pop these 3 little tabs and get this thing to pop out. So it was much easier to take that off with this out of the car. So I'm gonna go do the other side, and then we'll get back under the hood. I mean, the wind keeps blowing the hood closed, so I got it like this right now. I just letting the oil kind of fill up, and yeah, look at that. So we'll let that go, and I'll get this pulled off. I'm interested in seeing how easy these little tabs are, because back in the day there was really no information on how you pull those out, and yeah, that was a little tricky again back in the day. But we'll get that pulled once the front end's off. we'll get these lights pulled out, and then I want to take a look at the inside of the fender too and see where that little access panel is, because as some people said, when you take the inner fender liner out, there is an access panel there. It's just really small. That doesn't mean you can't get your hand in there and turn the little cover and get at the bulb, but some people have just been you know, cutting that out, or hitting it with like a, you know, a little solder iron with a plastic cutter on it, and going that route. So yeah, we'll see. Man, front end looks pretty bad. Yeah, and I don't know if you can really see this on the camera or not, but try to get in. Yeah, it's a little bit of the spider cracking right here, because and you can see a little bit down here. I don't know if you remember, I think I posted some photos or videos. You know, I came out and this whole side had like a great big giant tire mark on it where somebody backed into the car, and then of course they took off. So thankfully it put a little bit of crack on there. I was able to buff it all out, and it's, you know, kind of fine the way it is for now. I mean, front end's going to get so much damage anyway, so, you know, and at some point, like I said, what I'll probably do is pull it, repaint it, or might buy an, I mean, if it gets damaged even more, I'll pull it and yeah, put a new front end in, because I think I did that back in the day also. All right, so T30 Torx on here. I think they were 5mm or 7mm for those bolts, and we'll just kind of go from there. So stay tuned. Well, I wasn't so lucky on the rain. I actually had to just wait it out for a few minutes. Nice little cloud burst above me. Anyway, and what else? Where am I at now? So I got most of this is off and loose. Got these 4 T27s out, and then you got a couple little plastic push pins here, and then also of course these things, they got to come out first. Those just clip out, no bolts, they just snap right out. So we'll get the next part here, get in on this, which is yeah, like pull straight up if I remember correctly, but I'm gonna get in on the side here with a little piece of plastic and try to help that up, because again, I remember this part not being very user friendly. So, well, I'm not sure what the difference was that time. They just like popped right off. So maybe after you know, messing with this once or twice, it's just not on there as much. All right, so as other people have said, you got one bolt here, one here, one here. Pull this harness, and then you can get the light to slide out, and we'll get the bulbs changed. So should be pretty straightforward. Yeah, thought there was one back there, but no, looks like that one. Yeah, that one, this one, and then there's probably like a little plunger or something back there holding the back of the light into place. But man, and then again, once I have this off, I want to check this fender, because in here there's supposed to be like a little spot that maybe if you take this out, you can get access to that. But I don't know, I figure, what is it, 15, you know, 8 years, yeah, probably don't need to worry about it for a while. So we'll go from there. All right, be back once the light's off. Yeah, I thought that was kind of humorous. Anyway, yeah, I can't get this little red clip to come off, so I just backed this out and pulled the light out, turned it sideways. It's fine. People did say that the side gets hung up on this, which yes, it does, but if you pull it out and bring it up sideways, you get plenty of room for this little access panel. And looking inside, I did not see where you could cut the plastic and get at that. I mean, because that's up high, like right here, and I don't have, maybe it was something different on the 14. I mean, you've got this little tiny spot right there, but that's only about like 1 inch. It's only like about this big. So that doesn't seem, I mean, you'd have to basically cut that whole top off to get at it. So anyway, yeah, here you go. This is pretty much it. You just undo, turn that, pop it off. There's your light. You've got standard thing for like LEDs and whatever. You've got this little thing that unlocks it. So if you push these little tabs this way, it unlocks it. You can disconnect that clip, put the new bulb in, tighten it back up, put the cover back on, slide it back on. So there you go. I mean, other than, you know, obvious, taking off the front end, this whole part's really not that bad. And again, I had to have the front end off anyway, so we're gonna grab the new lights and kind of go from there. All right, so clip is off, and there is the passenger side. This side is still good, but if you're gonna do one, yeah, it's best that you do both, because you know, be like a day later, the other one will start flashing. So as I was saying, this is the little unlock clip. You just, clockwise is locked, counterclockwise, and you can see that little mechanism moving. So we'll just grab one of the new bulbs, and again, I went with the genuine GE part. I figure 8 years, yeah, made in Germany. Thought it had its part number, and there's your part number just in case you're looking for these online. 135878843. They're the same on both sides. These were about $129, $139, something like that on Amazon, about the cheapest that I could find. They want $3 something at the dealership and about $1,600 to do this job. So it is what it is, as they say. Anyway, we'll get this button back up, and then we'll test the lights, make sure that they're good. Yeah, before we put everything back together. All right, passenger side is done. Working on the driver's side next. And just FYI, I did end up taking that little bracket off because for some reason, yeah, I got the other side just kind of like slid right out. It would not go back in. Was kind of scratching up the lens, and or I didn't want it to scratch up the lens, and I didn't want to scratch up the side of the paint. So yeah, I pulled it. It's got a little bit of adjustment to it, so hopefully that's not going to cause a problem when I put the front end back on. But yeah, there you go. We'll get this one pulled out once again, get it set up here. Pull that little cover off. There you go. There's the light. There's the replacement. Get that turned again. There's that little clip like that, so you can pull the bulb out. And then this is the one that was actually oh yeah, look at that. Yeah, you can definitely see it there. So that's the one that was going bad. Yeah, it was flashing on and off. And you know, nice of Corvette though, GM, they don't give you any indicator on the dash, like, hey, replace your light, you know, kind of like when you have a blinker go bad. But running light was still good. So these are, I think, the same Phillips. Yep, GM Phillips. So all right, we'll get this done, get it swapped out, and like I said, I'll get the lights turned on just to make sure everything is fine. Oh yeah, so that would be your trailing light cable. And I didn't pull the cable again just because, yeah, these little clips weren't coming off. So it's just as easy to pull this little kind of mushroom top out of the little holder, and it goes there. So it's just faster. Oh, so there you go. Now that I got the light out of the way, you can see this little access panel. So that's definitely not big enough for that to like unscrew it and get it out of the way, and probably not really big enough to fit your hands in there and get the bulb out. But this is the inner fender well, and you can see that. And what people have done is kind of like what I drew there. They've been cutting that part out, and that gives you enough room to get at this. So that's an option. I think if it happens again and I don't need to take the front end off, I might go this route, because I mean, there's some watermarks on that, so I'm not sure how wet that would get, but you could always do that. And you could always take like a plastic square little panel, put some screws on it or something, you know, so that you could just unscrew it, pull it off. Kind of like the Xterra's got that, you know, for the to get at the oil filter. So I have to keep that in mind. All right, headlights are back on. Let's get this thing. Get those on. That's right, we had TPS on because we went to Mesquite and we hit the worst bump in the world. I thought it cracked the front wheels. So there you go, lights are on. Yep, both. See how those are. Yeah, that looks good. And that looks good. All right, so we go on that. I can check the brights and stuff, but that's fine. They're working. So we'll get, yeah, reverse engineered, as they say. Get everything put back on, and then we'll get that new front splitter right there. Get that on too. And I think it's supposed to rain tomorrow, so I'm not gonna bother with the car cleaning it up. But yeah, it's all back in fine. Yeah, once this thing's clamped down, those are in good. I try to line up like the dirty spots. I'm hoping this bracket, you know, is good. But there you go. All right. Well, this is about how things usually go. Starting the day and end when it's dark. But that's all right. All right. And for the neighbors who complain about my noisy cars, I'm gonna go take my Jack for a walk. So yeah, that should pretty much wrap this up. Let's go hit the lights again. And we'll fire up car. Gets a cool screen. Yeah, so there goes the lights. So lights are good. Get the oil pressure up. Yes, I know. All right, reset that back to 100, and there we go. Oh man, I'm just getting all kinds of warnings everywhere. All right, well, I'd say with filming that took a lot longer, but yeah, saved a lot of money. Lights are good, oil, and oh yeah, maybe now you can see, didn't really point out, yeah, bumper's all fixed and the new spoiler's on. And I'm not really sure why I painted the other one last time, but wasn't really needed. So yeah, there you go. And I went with the same temperature. I think these are 4,000, 4,500, so they're fine. All right, well, I will see you on the next one. Later.